Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to the fourth week of our side body length and strength series. So today's class, we are mostly going to focus on opening up the hips throughout multiple standing, seated, balancing postures. And then we're going to build up to the challenging pose visvamitrasana. So if you're familiar with the pose, lovely. If you're not familiar, don't worry. We're going to walk it through step by step, and I'll give you multiple stopping points along the way so that you find a place where you can work sustainably without pushing yourself or forcing yourself into anything that you're not feeling ready for. That's the plan for today's class. Let's go ahead and get our playlist started. So if you're using the same playlist as I am, let's go ahead and get it started here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin to make your way to the mat and find a comfortable seat. Rock the sitting bones from side to side lightly, making sure that you have equal weight left to right. And roll the shoulders back and down, lifting up out of your low back so you're sitting tall. Big breath in through the nose. Let it go out through the mouth and close down the eyes. Find an even breath in and out through the nose. Begin to notice where the breath is flowing today. Maybe it's up high in the chest, maybe it's down low in the belly. Notice if it's shorter, choppy, longer, and slower. And then start to find a 4-count inhale. So breathing in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And a 4-count exhale for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pause at the top. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1. Continue with your own pace, breathing evenly and deeply. And I'm going to share with you a little bit of something that my therapist shared with me that's been sitting in my heart and my head lately. She tells me this: don't let good be the enemy of perfect. Don't let good be the enemy of perfect. In this world where we have immediate gratification, where we see something and we want it and we get it, it can be very easy to expect everything to be that simple and quick. But oftentimes that means that the things that come a little bit harder, the things that are a little bit more challenging, we can't see the good in them because we're expecting perfect. So today, as we're moving through some of these more challenging poses, I want you to remember that it's not about perfecting the pose. It's not about perfecting your breath. It's not about creating perfect through this practice. Today, we're just showing up to see what good arises in the next 60 minutes. What good can you notice in your body, in your breath, and your mind without worrying about what's lacking, without worrying about what you're missing? Allowing yourself to show up exactly as you are allowing yourself to notice the good exactly as it is, without qualification, without trying to make anything perfect. Take a big breath in through the nose. Let it go through the nose. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Gently blink the eyes open. Plant the right palm next to you. Bend the elbow lightly. Inhale, reach the left arm up and over. Push your bottom hand down and away so that you lift your left side body up towards the sky a little bit more. Maybe even looking up underneath the left arm. We're breathing length from the anchored left hip all the way up through the left ribs, left armpit, and out through the left fingertips. Final breath. Exhale, come back to center. Ground the left palm. Inhale, right arm reaches up and over. Push down and away through the bottom palm. See if you can lift the right side body up towards the sky. Push down through the right hip, through the right knee, and then let everything else rise up and out of that anchoring. Maybe looking up underneath the bicep, rolling the heart open to the sky. Final breath. Exhale, come back to center. Plant the palms in front of you, roll over the knees. Let's find tabletop. Stack your limbs underneath your torso. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the heart forward, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, drop the head, lift the navel. Inhale, cow pose, arch the spine. Exhale, cat, round the spine. A couple more rounds with your own breath. Last round, one more time to cat and cow. Inhale to a neutral spine. Exhale, step the right toes to the back of the mat. Spin the back heel down. Inhale, reach the right arm up for supported side plank. Option to swivel your bottom shin over to the left just a little bit for more of a kickstand. Squeeze your glutes, push your groin forward. Roll the heart open, maybe leaning back through the right shoulder a little bit more. And if you're feeling good, float the back leg up off the floor. Flexing through the toes, push out through the heel. And continue to push down through your supporting limbs so that you're growing taller, lifting the left side body away from the earth. One more breath here. Exhale, come back down through tabletop. Inhale, step the left toes to the back of the mat. Spin the heel down. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Option to swivel this right shin over to the right. Hips forward, groin, forward glutes, squeezing. Navel draws back into the spine. Option to hover the back leg up off the floor, flexing the toes towards the shin. Final breath. Exhale, we meet back in tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back to our first downward facing dog. Spread all 10 fingers wide. Push through the knuckles and the heels of your palms. Just send the chest up and back towards your thighs. A little bit more, finding more length through the side bodies and the spine. Little bend to the knees to take the pressure off the hamstrings. Inhale, lift your heels up to the sky. Exhale, drop both heels over to the right. And then pour more weight into your left palm. Drag your left hip crease up and back. A big breath into the left side body. Inhale, heels to center. Exhale, drop the heels over to the left. Pour weight into the right palm, heavy right hand, right hip crease reaches up and back. Inhale, heels to center. Exhale, draw them down towards the floor, keeping a bend in the knees. Inhale, roll forward to plank pose, lifting your heels up to take you forward. Find a strong plank, hips in line with shoulders, glutes squeezing, low belly lifting. Take a breath. Exhale, draw the sitting bones up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more. Inhale, rise, roll forward. Stack shoulders over wrists. Exhale, lead with the tailbone up and back. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Last time, plank. Exhale to the dog. Inhale. Exhale, walk the hands back towards the feet, coming to a hanging forward fold. Grab opposite elbows, let the whole spine hang heavy. And gently release your bind to the floor. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Squeeze your glutes, lift your belly so the side bodies can get longer. Exhale, hinge at the hips, dive forward, heart reaching out all the way to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands back out to plank pose. Lower halfway down, elbows kiss the ribs, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Broaden the heart, kneecaps lift as the feet press down. Exhale, look to the navel, lift the navel up and back, downward facing dog. 1 breath in. Breathe out. Inhale, lift your heels, lift your hips, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, step, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. And again, inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, vinyasa, or choose to skip it. Remember that vinyasas are like the red pepper flakes of the practice. We don't put red pepper flakes on every single dish, only when we want a little bit more heat. So feel free to skip them when you need to. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, send your right leg up and back, keeping the weight even in both palms. Exhale, knee to the right tricep, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Lift your back thigh up towards the sky as high as it'll go, and then stretch your back heel to the back of the mat as far as it'll go. Keeping both of those motions locked into place, let your hips sink low so that you're opening up the front of the left hip, getting into the hip flexors a little bit. If there's a lot of sensation here, if this feels really challenging, know that that's normal. We spend so much time seated with our hips in flexion, and this is the complete opposite motion, extension through the hip flexors. Take a breath in, pull the heart forward, look forward. Exhale, draw the navel close to the spine. Lift your hips up slightly. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Sink the hips down between the heels for Malasana Squatter's pose. Pull the hands into heart center. The elbows push the knees wide. Big breath in. Lift your heart up to meet your hands. Exhale, hands to the floor, sitting bones to the sky, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, reach all the way up. Catch your left wrist with your right hand. We lean to the right as the hips slide to the left. Make your left foot a little bit heavier. Big breath into this left side body. Get empty. Inhale, hands to the sky. Grab right wrist with left hand. Lean to the left. Right foot is heavy. Breathe space into the right lung. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, swivel both heels over to the right. Push down through the feet. Can you lift the right hip up to the height of the right armpit so those obliques are turning on? If you feel good here, come up onto your left fingertips and maybe crawl those left fingertips towards the top left corner of the mat, really forcing those obliques to work. If you feel good here, left arm reaches all the way up to the sky side plank. You can keep the feet staggered or maybe stack them. If you want even more of a challenge, hover the left foot off the earth. For 2 more breaths, continue to push the floor away. Can you hug that right hip up to the sky? Final breath in. Exhale, left palm down. Take the vinyasa or choose to skip. Inhale, broaden the heart, cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, knee to the left tricep. Step the left foot outside of the left hand. Lift your back thigh up. Reach your back heel back, but then let your hips sink low. Woo. Look forward. Shoulders back. A little bit of cow spine here. So we're arching through the spine as the hips get heavy. Take 1 more breath in. Exhale, lift the navel, lift the hips, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Bend the knees, sink the hips down. Inhale, Malasana Squatter's pose. Exhale here. Tear the mat apart between the feet so that you're using your outer hips. You'll feel this little kind of basket of lift up underneath the pelvis. That means you're using your strength here. 1 more breath in. Exhale, hands to the floor, fold. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, right hand grabs left wrist. We lean to the right, hip slide to the left. 1 breath in. 1 breath out. Inhale to center. Catch the right wrist. We lean to the left. Hip slide to the right. Inhale, reach up, glutes squeeze, belly in. Swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, step back into plank. Both heels fall to the left. Push down, squeeze the left hip up towards the sky. And then maybe come up onto the right fingertips. Maybe crawl those right fingertips towards the top right corner of the mat. Ooh, we're finding that side body strength. Inhale, right arm high. Check in with the left hip. Make sure you're still working to lift it up to the height of the armpit. And then maybe that right leg stacks. Maybe it hovers. Glute squeeze, push the groin forward just like we did in supported side plank at the start of the practice. 1 more breath. Exhale, right palm down, vinyasa or skip. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, lift the hips to downward facing dog. Breathe in. And let it go. Inhale, float your right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Kick the foot out to the left, pinky edge side of the foot down. Inhale, left arm high, fallen triangle. Push down, squeeze the right hip up to the sky, just like we did inside plank. Inhale. Exhale, left palm down, hug the right knee into the chest. Inhale, kick it up and back. Equal weight in the palms, side body's long. Exhale, knee to nose, step the right foot through between the palms. Come up onto the fingertips, look forward, take your heart forward. Lift your navel up into your spine and make your legs really strong by tearing the mat apart between them. Hands float up to the side bodies as the chest starts to lift into a power lunge, staying at this 45-degree angle. Make sure that your left glute is squeezing, pushing this left hip into greater extension. Big breath in. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. With the inhale, reach the arms forward, back knee comes up into the chest, one leg Tadasana. Find your drishti ahead of you. So find one point to look at and then squeeze the right glute just a bit here. That's your structure, that's your standing support. Inhale, reach up, side body's long. Exhale, bend your standing leg, cross left ankle over right knee for a little bit of figure four action. Hips sink back and down like you're sitting into a chair. Hands to heart center, lift the heart up. Exhale, everything below the navel gets heavy, sinking down. Inhale. Sit a little bit lower. Final breath here. If there's a little wobble, that's okay. Big breath in. Let it go. Inhale, one leg Tadasana, reach back up to the sky. Left knee comes into the chest. Exhale, kick it back, warrior three. Left heel pushes through the air, sending the leg back long. Keep the shoulder blades lifting together on the back body. That'll keep the heart buoyant. And then squeeze your left glute just a little bit here. Nice. Bend your standing leg. Wrap the right sitting bone back, or right hip crease rather, back, so that both side bodies are extending equally out of the hips. We've got one more breath here. Exhale, hands to the mat, standing split, left leg goes high. Inhale, lift from the front of the left thigh. Exhale, walk the hands back in space, letting the torso hang heavier, maybe the head drops. For two. Navel in, maybe folding deeper. Last breath. Exhale, bend your standing leg, chamber left knee behind right. Slide this knee all the way down to the earth on the inside of that heel, and we sit all the way down on the sitting bones. You're like, finally, a break, I'm dying. I am too. If you can't tell, I'm really sweating right now. We're getting the power flow in today. All right. From here, let's interlace the hands around the front knee, the right knee. Hug the knee into the chest. Reach down and catch the foot. You'll interlace the hands in a little bit of a basket catch here. And then inhale, push the heel forward. Now, if this doesn't feel accessible for you today, you can always walk the hands back and hold the leg at any point, even just below the knee works. Whichever variation you're taking, you're pushing the heel away from you. So very strong, energetic leg kicking out. And then notice where you're sitting on your sitting bones. Many times when we start to open the hips or we open up the hamstrings, we round through the lower back and we sit back on the sitting bones. Can you roll forward to the front edge of your sitting bones, lift up out of your low back, and broaden your chest? Take two more breaths. One more breath. Exhale to release your right hand. Turn the thumb down. Take the hand to the inner arch of that lifted foot. Reach the left arm forward. Inhale, open arm and leg wide. Woo. And we're breathing. This heel continues to push away from you, kicking the leg out. And then again, we're not sitting back on the sitting bones. We're not rolling back, but we're lifting the heart up. Continue to push this hand back into the foot, opening the leg out to the side. Take one more breath here, broadening your wingspan, fingertip to fingertip. Exhale, come back to center. Bend the knee, release the foot to the floor. Let's cross the ankles, plant the palms, roll over the knees, step back into plank. If you like, you can take a vinyasa or choose to skip it. Inhale to the back bend. Exhale, take it back into downward facing dog. Inhale, float your left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Think belt buckle to belly button through the core to really curl in on yourself and keep the knee tight. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Kick the foot out to the side. Spin the back heel down. Inhale, right arm high, fallen triangle. Push down, lift the left hip up to the sky. One more breath in. Exhale, right palm down, hug the left knee into the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, step the left foot through between the palms. Come up onto your fingertips, take your heart forward, look forward. Make the legs strong, tearing the mat apart between the feet, navel lifts, and then very slowly start to float the hands back towards the hips, palms turn down as the shoulder blades squeeze together. Push down through your front heel, lift your low belly so that your torso isn't resting on the front thigh, but you're supported off of it with the strength of the core. Big breath in. Squeeze the right glute, push the right hip forward into extension. Inhale, one leg Tadasana, arms sweep forward, right knee comes into the chest. Flex the toes. Squeeze your left glute now. Think about the glutes as the elevators up to the side body. So the glutes are turned on, the glutes are strong, the side bodies will lengthen and be long, carrying you all the way up to the top floor. Take a big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend your standing legs. Sink down into standing figure four. Right toes flex. Sitting bones continue to draw down and back. The low back stays long because you're reaching the heart out. You're not trying to round yourself over to get as close to that leg, the crossed leg, as possible. Instead, you're thinking about heart forward, low back long, hips drawing in the opposite direction. Two more breaths. One more. Inhale, one leg Tadasana. Reach up, right knee comes back into the chest, left glute firing. Exhale, warrior three, kick the right heel back. Hands to heart center, hands alongside, whatever works best for you. You can even reach the arms forward if you like. A little bend in your standing leg. Left hip crease wraps back as the right glute squeezes to lift the right thigh towards the sky. Shoulder blades hug together. Think length from the back heel through the crown of the head. And if you step out, that's okay. Rejoin whenever you're ready. Final breath here. Both side bodies lengthening to the top of the mat. Exhale, hands to the floor, standing split, right thigh high. Inhale, lift from the front of the thigh. Exhale, walk the hands 2 inches back, head drops heavy. Point or flex through your lifted toes, doesn't matter which, but keep the energy moving all the way down through the end of the leg. One more breath. Bend your standing leg, Shiva squat, right knee chambers behind left. Slide the knee all the way down to the floor to the inside of the left heel. Sit the sitting bones down behind the shin. Interlace the hands around the left knee, hug the left knee into the chest. Reach down and basket catch the foot. Remember that you can always grip the ankle or the calf wherever you like. Inhale, kick the leg forward. Exhale, draw the navel in. Get the core working here. And then roll to the front edge of your sitting bones, extend out of the low back. Left heel is energetically driving away from you. Maybe a little bend to the elbows if you want to increase the sensation along the back of the leg. Two more. Final breath. Release the left hand. Turn the thumb down, catch the inner arch of the foot. Extend the right arm forward, inhale. Exhale, open wide. Woo! Make sure that you've got equal weight in both sitting bones. You're sitting on both sitting bones here. Left heel is driving away. The hand is pushing the foot back in space. At the same time, the arms are widening in opposite directions. And then return to a serene, steady breath. If you've got hold of the leg somewhere, remember that you can also catch on the calf here. Take one more breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Bend the knee, cross the shins, plant the palms, step back, plank. Option to take a vinyasa, or we meet directly back in downward facing dog. Inhale, float your right leg up and back. Exhale, roll forward to plank pose, keeping the right leg hovering. Take a breath in. Exhale, right knee to nose. Step the right foot through between the palms, come up onto the fingertips, look forward. Exhale, lift the navel, power lunge, so the chest hovers over the front thighs, the hands reach back alongside the body. Inhale, one leg Tadasana, reach the arms forward, left knee comes into the chest. Exhale, step the left foot back with the back foot on a slight angle for pyramid pose. Hands come to the hips, square the hips to the front of the mat like headlights. And then tear the mat apart between the feet. So you're pushing down through the pinky edge side of the back foot. And then lift your toes. You've got a little elf shoe on the front foot. That's what I like to think of. That's like the silhouette I see when I lift these front toes up. Little elf shoes that curl up on the end. Big breath in, pull the elbows back, lift your heart. Exhale, hinge from the hips and just come about halfway down. Halfway down. If this is really intense on the back of the right leg, bend your back knee a little bit. Heart is reaching out. We're extending out of the low back, and then pay attention to where the hips are. Left hip will automatically try to roll back. Keep rolling it forward. Tuck your right hip crease back so hips stay square. One more breath here. Exhale, fold down over the leg completely. Hands come to the floor. If you need to, keep that back knee bent. Breathe in to extend the heart out. Keep pushing in opposite directions with the feet. Exhale, bow. 3 breaths here. If you want a little bit more and you're feeling like you've got some space in the hamstrings, you can even walk the hands back behind your right leg, fingertips pointing to the back of the mat. Hands walk back underneath the shoulders, push through the feet. Inhale, rise back to standing, hands on the hips. Exhale, turn the back toes out, bend both knees, sink the hips down in between the heels for goddess pose. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Push down through all 4 corners of your feet. One more breath here. Exhale, spin your back heel down, straightening the back leg, and then lean forward for a no hands extended side angle, making those obliques work. Push down through the pinky edge side of the back foot, and then this lengthening from the back heel, from the inner arch, all the way up through both sides of the leg, continues out through the side bodies, through the arms, through the fingertips. One more breath in. Exhale, right palm comes down to the floor ahead of the right toes. Inhale, half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Now this is just like side plank. It's just like supported side plank. So squeeze your glutes to push your hips forward. Keep flexing your back toes. And then lean back through the left shoulder a little bit. Maybe the chest turns up to the sky a little bit more. If there's a wiggle, if there's a wobble, that's okay. Take another breath. Draw the navel close to the spine. Final breath. Exhale, bend your standing leg, lightly step back into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the palms down, slide the right foot back to hover, one leg plank. Exhale, bend the knee, kickstand the toes behind you. Inhale to wild thing, lifting the hips, lifting the heart, reaching the right arm to the top of the mat. With the exhale, right hand comes behind the head, elbow to the sky. Right knee pulls into the chest. Can you tap right knee to right elbow? Inhale, wild thing, plant the toes, reach the arm out. Exhale, elbow to knee, curl in. Woo! Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. For 2. Left hip is working hard to stay lifted. Final time. Elbow to knee. Keep the knee to the chest. Right palm down. Inhale, one leg plank. Exhale, take the vinyasa. Both feet land. Inhale, broaden the heart. Exhale, navel lifts. Take the hips back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. And let it go. Other side. Inhale, float your left leg up and back. Exhale, one leg plank. Inhale, keep the left thigh hovering. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the left foot through between the palms. Look forward, take your heart forward, legs strong. Inhale, power lunge. Navel draws up and in, shoulders squeeze. Inhale, one leg Tadasana, reach forward, right knee to the chest. Exhale, step the right foot back for pyramid pose, hands to the hips. Back toes at a 45-degree angle. Push down through the pinky edge side, lift your front toes so you're pushing through the ball mount of the front foot. Inhale, square the hips, hug the elbows. Exhale, hinge from the hips, extend out of the low back for holding. If you need to, bend your back knee. Find the pressure between the feet. Make sure you've got your elf shoe on the front foot. One more breath. Exhale, hands to the mat and fold, maybe keeping that bend in the back knee, but you're always aware of where the hips are. Right hip rolls forward, left hip crease draws back. Final breath. Hands to the hips, push the floor away, inhale, rise back up. Exhale, turn your back toes out, face the right side of the mat, hips sink low between the heels for goddess. Inhale, reach the arms up, side bodies growing up tall out of the hips. Sit lower. One more breath in, reach up through your fingertips. Exhale, spin the back heel down, straighten the back leg. Lean forward, no hands extended. Squeeze your glutes, push your groin towards the wall you're facing. 2 more breaths. One more breath. Exhale, look down, plant the left hand ahead of the toes. Inhale, step up, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Squeeze the glutes, groin forward. Kick your back heel towards the back wall just a little bit more. Shifting the weight back in space. Maybe that bottom hand gets a little bit lighter. Maybe you can lengthen both side bodies out of the hips. Final breath. Exhale, bend your bottom leg, step back into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the palms down, slide that left leg back to hover, one leg plank. Exhale, bend the knee, kickstand the toes, spinning the right heel down to the floor. Inhale, wild thing, lift the hips, lift the heart, glutes squeeze. Exhale, left hand behind the head, left knee pulls in, tap elbow to knee. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, elbow knee. Woo! Inhale. Elbow knee. Core contracts, right hip working. One side might be harder than the other. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, elbow knee. Last time. Elbow knee. Keep the knee in, left palm down. Inhale, one leg plank. Vinyasa with the leg hovering. Both feet land. Inhale, cobra up dog. Exhale, take the hips high, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Drop the knees. Cross the ankles behind you. Sit behind your heels. Woo! I'm sweaty. I hope you're a little bit sweatier. All right, we want to be nice and warm. We want to have generated some heat in the body because these next couple of poses that we're going to do require a lot of heat, a lot of length, and a lot of strength. So let's start with the soles of the feet on the floor, hip width apart, hands behind you, fingertips turn away. Cross right ankle over left knee, a little bit of figure four work. Now, if you cross and this doesn't feel like that much sensation, you can walk the hands in to sit up taller. You can walk your left foot back for more sensation. 3 deep breaths. Keep lifting the chest up to meet your shin. One more breath here. And exhale, we release. Other side, left ankle crosses right knee. Make sure the toes are flexed and then find a nice tall lift through the chest. And gently release. From here, let's lay all the way down in the back. You're going to keep the soles of the feet grounded on the earth. Right knee comes into the chest. Catch the outer edge of the foot for half happy baby. Pull down towards the floor, but also push the sole of the foot up towards the sky so that you're really feeling length through the hamstring, maybe even into the connection between the hamstring and the glutes. Big breath in. Let it go. Left hand reaches up. It catches the pinky edge side of that foot. Pull the pinky edge side across you like we're going to do figure four reclining, but we're not. Instead, you're going to take that foot into the left elbow crease. Right arm wraps around the knee. Keep the toes flexed. A little bit of cradle here. And maybe the shin comes parallel to the earth. Maybe it doesn't. That's okay. If you want more here, you can always extend the left leg long. All right. Finally, if you want a little bit more here, you're welcome to stay, but if you have compass in your practice, you might want to try this variation. So you'll take the right foot back up to the sky with the left hand. You'll guide the right arm and right shoulder underneath the knee, wedging it underneath. Elbow pushes out to the right. You might bring the left sole of the foot back to the floor for this. From here, we'll switch the grip. So take the left hand, wrap it over the top of the foot, catching the pinky edge side. And then kick the heel up towards the back of the mat and over to the right. Maybe that left arm comes overhead. Woo, big opening. And if you're like, oh my God, girl, there's no way that's happening today, that's okay. This is just if compass, regular compass is already in your practice. Take one more big breath here. Exhale, release. Woo, right foot comes back down to the earth. And we'll do the whole thing to the left side. So left knee comes in, catch the outer edge of the foot, half happy baby. Heel pushes skyward, hand pulls down towards the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take another inhale. From here, we cross the foot over to the right. The foot goes into the right elbow crease. The forearm wraps around the shin. Left elbow tucks around the left knee. We're holding here. Make sure your toes are flexed to protect the knee. Option to extend the right leg out. Option to stay here. If compass is in your practice, we'll take a little reclining compass variation. So come back to kind of that half happy baby. Left hand is pushing down. You're going to snuggle the left shoulder right behind that knee. Switch the grip. Right hand comes over the top of the foot, fingertips wrap towards the pinky edge side, and then kick the heel out. Breathing into the right armpit and the length along the back of the left leg. One more breath here. Exhale, bend the left knee. Come back to center. Hands to the backs of the thighs. We rock and roll up to a seat. And we are coming up to our final peak pose, visvamitrasana. So let's come to lizard pose. Cross the ankles, step back into a plank or a down dog. And we'll step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Outside of the right hand. Back heel reaches back. Back thigh lifts up, but the hips sink. Walk your hands back in space so that the fingertips are aligned with the right heel. And then begin to round the spine, bend the elbows like you're doing chaturanga, getting the chest low. And we'll sneak our right shoulder behind the right calf. And I'll turn so you can see this a little bit better. Right shoulder tucks into the back of the right knee. Tear the mat apart between the feet. Maybe this is your stopping point today. Maybe this is it, just opening up this right hip, right groin area. If you're feeling good, take your hips a little bit lower, and then maybe the hands float back, palms turn down. You're reaching the heart out, trying to extend out of the low back while still hugging this right hip in towards center. You can also do this with the back knee down. This is still accessible. Now, either back knee down or lifted, we're going to move on to the next part of this. So you might stay here, you might keep moving if you have the space to. So right palm plants right behind the heel. I like to take the heel right into the space between the thumb and the index finger. From here, you'll bring the left hand to the outer edge of the right foot. You'll pick up the toes of the right foot. Push your bottom palm down. And you're going to lift your shoulder up. You might lift that right leg off the floor. Whew. Good. From here, try extending the heel forward. And then look up underneath the left bicep. This is with the back knee down. Same thing if you've got that back knee lifted. Shoulders tucked. Lift up the front edge of the foot. Back heel spins down to the earth. Push down with the right palm. Right leg floats up. Kick the heel forward, look up underneath that left bicep. And we're breathing here. You're playing around, you're experimenting, you have a little bit of time to try things out. You might be like, how is this happening for her? It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of knowing where you're going already. So if this is your first time coming into this pose, don't let good be the enemy of perfect. If you're just getting into lizard with the arms floating back, that is great. That is more than good. Don't worry about getting this perfect. We've got another 3 breaths to play around here. Make sure that you're finding pressure between the feet wherever you are. For 2. And 1. Exhale. Right palm to the earth, right foot to the earth. Let's just step it back. Child's pose briefly. Sit back to the heels, forehead to the earth. If you want to grab a sip of water, go for it. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Let's get the other side. Plank to downward facing dog. Step the left foot outside of the left hand for lizard. Back thigh lifts up, back heel reaches to the back of the mat, but hips descend lightly. Option to drop the back knee down. Walk the hands back in space so the fingertips are closer to in line with the heel. Bend your elbows back like you're going to do chaturanga so that your chest sinks, your face sinks towards the floor. Snuggle the left shoulder in behind the left knee and create some tension in that connection. So let your shoulder, the top of your shoulder, drive forward into the back of your calf muscle. And now you might just be hanging out here. Feel the pressure between the feet. Hug left hip into center line. Look forward, take your heart forward. Maybe the hands float back. Maybe this is it today, just a little bit of flying lizard. You can also do this with the back knee down. Remember, that's always available to you. And then we'll start to work into the full expression of visvamitrasana. So I'm going to show you the variation with the back knee lifted first, and then we'll do it with the back knee down. Spin the back heel down to the floor if you're keeping the knee lifted. Tear the mat apart between the feet. From here, push that left palm down right behind the heel. You're going to lift the shoulder up. You're going to lift that foot up. Right hand reaches to catch the pinky edge side of the foot. Keep pushing down through the back foot. Kick the left heel forward. The toes point up towards the sky. Right bicep comes over the ear, maybe looking up. And then you can play around, hang out there, breathe, figure out what the hell's going on. And let's try the variation of the back knee down. So back knee down to the floor, left shoulder comes behind the left calf. Left palm behind the left heel, push down. Float the leg up. Catch the pinky edge side with the left hand. Or pardon me, with the right hand. Pinky edge side of the left foot with the right hand. Inhale, kick the left heel forward. The knee is pushing into the back of the shoulder. Use that as leverage to spin the heart open to the sky. And then again, couple of breaths here to play, experiment, try out what's working for you. Maybe you're like, I'm done. I'm sweaty and I'm tired and I'm done. That's fine. Know that what you did today was good, regardless of where you ended up. You moved your body. You were present with your body and your mind. You breathed. And maybe you sweat a little. Maybe you sweat a lot like me. That's great. That is perfect. That's all this practice asks of you. Not perfection, just showing up for the good that comes up when you're present. Take a big breath in through the nose wherever you are. Let it go out through the mouth. Let's make our way down to the back body, laying down. Step the feet to the outer edges of the mat. Let the knees knock in towards each other. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Take the knees as wide as your mat. Exhale, but let both knees drop over to the right. If you want more here, you can pick up your right heel and place it on top of your left knee, but be mindful of any pinching or compression feeling in the low back. If you're feeling any of that, ease off, take the heel off the knee. Inhale, knees back to center. Let both knees fall to the left. Same option on this side to place the left heel on top of the right knee. Inhale, knees back to center. Curl the knees into the chest. Extend the toes up to the sky, big toes touching, knees lightly bent for legs up the wall. Let the knees drop into the chest. Give yourself a hug. With an inhale, lift the head, neck, and chest up to meet the knees. Squeeze yourself tightly and deeply and strongly. Sip in just a little bit more air. Hold. 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 Exhale to extend your limbs in Shavasana. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Drop one ear into the mat and then the other, massaging the back of the skull. With your next big breath in, reach the arms overhead, full body stretch, lengthen fingertips to the toes. Exhale, curl the knees into the chest and roll to one side. You can end practice here on your side, or you're always welcome to meet me in a comfortable seat with the hands at heart center. And as always, we end class with a moment of gratitude. And today, we're grateful for the goodness, even when it's imperfect. We're grateful for every little bit of imperfect goodness that shows up in our lives. And we're grateful for our ability to notice it. Inhale, lift the thumbs up to the third eye between the brows. Open mouth, exhale, let go. As we bow forward in reverence to each other, we acknowledge the goodness we see in each other, and together we say, Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice and your presence with me today. So this is the end of our side body length and strength series. Remember that you can always return to previous classes in this series if you're looking to beef up the strength or the length of your side bodies. And look forward to new series coming up soon. Until we meet again on the mat, namaste.